Hello everyone, in this video we're going to talk about subtraction or differences, and we're actually going to use number lines to find some differences in this video. So we'll do two examples. Number one, we have -2 minus 7, and then number two, we have -3 minus -4. So over here to the right in purple next to this star, it's kind of our rule for subtracting integers. We want to, or in order to subtract an integer, we can just think about adding its opposite. Now that's going to come into play when we get to number two. When we get to number one, especially with our number line, we don't really necessarily have to think about that as much because we're subtracting, so we're going to continue moving left on our number line. We're subtracting a positive. But if we thought about that, what's the opposite of subtracting a positive? Well, that's adding a negative, right? So then we would have a negative plus a negative, and in previous videos now we're adding. We can add those absolute values together and keep the sign, so it would be -9. And let's see if that's what we get when we use this number line. So remember, when we use number lines to find sums or differences, we want to start at 0 and we want to move left for a subtraction or a negative movement, and we want to move right for addition or a positive movement. So we're starting with -2, so I'm going to start here at 0 and I'm going to move right here to -2, and then now I'm starting at -2 and we're going to move from -2, we're going to go left 7 more units because it says -7. So follow with me here. At -3 would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 would end us right here, meaning our answer is -9. And that's the same thing we said if we were to rewrite it as -2 plus -7, right? So in that case, what do? We add 2 plus 7, the absolute value, and then we keep our negative sign, so -9, okay? All right, number two, we really do need to think about adding its opposite here, because when we subtract a negative, we can kind of get confused about which direction should we go on our number line, because subtract says I go left, but then negative says I go left. So do I go left twice? Well, no, okay? So let's rewrite this one. So we're going to say -3 plus, we're going to add the opposite of -4. So this is going to be -3 plus 4. So now we can remember back in the video that we made about using number lines to add, and remember that if I add a number, we're going to move right on the number line. So once again, we're going to start here at 0, and we're going to move left 3 because our first number is -3. So I'm going to go left 3, so that puts me here at -3. And now I'm at -3, and now it says +4, so I can actually move 4 units to the right on my number line. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 would end me right here at +1. So -3 plus 4 would be 1, and that's also the same answer as -3 minus -4. It would also be 1. Okay, so that's how we can use number lines to find differences.